CPU usage in Studio One, how to minimize it. I think I found a way to ultimately reduce the amount of CPU usage that your computer uses in an intense session. So we're going to dive into Studio One and check it out. I got this session open from the last song that I dropped, The Upside Down. It's a pretty heavy session. I did add some plugins onto the Vox bus just to exaggerate the example. So as you can see, I have an extra Vice EQ up top that's not doing anything, but it does still take up CPU. And you're going to hear when I play the song and the session starts to glitch out a little bit.
Just wanna be the best one. My last love taught me a lesson. I was really stressing, but it was just a blessing.
Right, so yeah, right now, keep in mind, the session is at 96K, so I technically could drop the sample rate to 48, mix in 48, but I don't want to do that. And also keep in mind that I'm also at 4,000 samples for my sample size, so, and my buffer rate. So I wouldn't even be able to raise the buffer rate anymore, which is usually the first thing that you do when you run into this problem. Raise the buffer size and it usually fixes it. But I'm maxed at 4,000. So the only thing that I've figured out that works is to basically make another bus and split your plugins up. As you guys can see, I got my Vox bus, right? This is my Vox going to the song bus, okay? The song bus is right here highlighted. My face is covering it. But as you can see, the performance meter is almost maxed out. When I play the song, though, it's going to get worse.
I was really stressing, but it was just a blessing.
Right, so when I actually start to play the song, that's when the meter maxes out. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Vox bus, I'm going to duplicate it. And instead of sending this one Vox bus to the song mix bus, I'm going to make another Vox bus, send the first one to the second Vox bus, and then that second Vox bus is going to go to the mix bus. And plugins, I'm going to split them in half. So I do have a lot of plugins on this Vox bus. I have about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. So I'm going to just split it in half. I'm going to put the second half on the second bus, and the first half I'm just going to keep there. Let's see what happens. All right, so as you guys can see, this was the first Vox bus. I'm now sending it to the second one, which is this bus, and then this second bus is going to the mix bus. So basically, all I'm doing is I'm just adding another bus for the vocals to go to, right? So you can see these plugins that are grayed out are the same 6 that I added onto this second bus. And you can see my performance meter is actually dropped down a tiny bit. Now, the UAD plugins don't really use CPU power, so the only ones that do use CPU power are the Vice, the Mag, and the 2 Vice plugins and the Mag, right? So if I play the song, you're going to hear that it's not crapping out and glitching out as much.
I'm afraid that I'm a mess up, just trying to impress you. I just wanna be the best one. My last love taught me a lesson. I was really stressing, but it was just a blessing. Just a loss over no direction. I should probably warn you, baby.
Alright, so you can hear that it didn't glitch or crap out one time. One thing I will say though is that if you do have automation on the first bus, you will have to kind of transition the automation to that second and final Vox bus, as well as all the sends now have to be those are going to have to be transitioned over to the second one as well. So keep that in mind. Your automation is going to be messed up if you make another bus like this. You could argue that this will have an effect or an impact on the digital internal summing of the DAW. Personally, I haven't really heard a difference. It's possible that something is going on and it is being affected, but I think it would be a very small difference. Now, I do have a Studio One session open, and I'm going to be doing a test, all right? I wanted to show you guys this. In this session, I have 2 audio tracks of the same song. This is the same song that I had the session open from, all right? I clip gained them down minus 3.4 decibels just because it's a mastered file. This first track is going directly to the song bus. This second track is going to bus 1, then it's going to bus 2, out of bus 2 to bus 3, then to bus 4, then to bus 5, then to bus 6, and then to the song bus. I put a mix tool on the second track, inverted the phase. Both of these tracks also have Pro Q4 as the first insert, both doing the same exact thing, copy and pasted. Now, when I play both of these, you don't hear anything. The phase is inverted, so you shouldn't hear anything. I wanted to just see if I were to hear anything, even if I inverted the phase. Now, if I just move the track slightly and I drag it slightly to the right,
I can't even count. You're still in control.
You will hear something because they're not exactly lined up. So if I even take this mix tool and put it on the end of bus 6, right now it's off.
Just a loss over.
You'll obviously hear the signal. If I turn this mix tool on, you don't hear anything. It's null. So in my opinion, I don't think that adding another bus is going to really impact the digital summing. Now, in a bigger session, there might be an impact. It might do something. But you know, I even know some engineers that don't like to send their tracks to specific buses. They like to just send them all to the outputs of their audio interface, which honestly, I don't really think there's anything wrong with that either. If you get a good sound and you can get your mix to sound good, you know, there's really no rules when it comes to mixing, they always say, you know, stuff. I just wanted to do this test to just make sure that when I inverted the phase and sent the second track to all those different buses, we still got that no signal, which seems to be the case. And I honestly think this is a good method to do only if you have no other choice. I wouldn't recommend doing this in every session. You know, I've actually never had to do this with a song yet. Even this song, I came close, but I managed to finish the mix without having to do this or completely running out of CPU power. Let me know if there's also another method that you guys have came up with for reducing CPU usage in Studio One. I'm gonna wrap it up here though. If you guys need mixing or mastering, definitely hit me up. You can check out the links in the description below. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.